Okay, here we
Perfect.
go. Alrighty. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Listening is Fundamental. I'm so excited. Y'all excited to join me today. This is a very special episode. We are here with Angie Mitchell. Yes.
I'm
Hello,
so excited
Angie.
to be here.
Yes, and we are excited to have you. This is LIF's first interview, and it's such a privilege that we're doing it with Angie, gearing up for the big film festival in May. So we're excited about that. So we have Angie here. We're just going to ask her some questions, get the scoop on the film festival, see what's going on, and then also hear from the creative mind behind this festival. So if you don't know who Angie is, you should, and you will pretty soon. But Angie is a mother of three beautiful boys, a recent
Yes.
graduate from Wright State University with her BFA, where she also just crossed and is a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. Don't play with her. She's a child of the Most High Father, and she's just an all-around creative filmmaker, director, actress, uh, photographer, low key.
Low key.
Key. So we're really excited to have you here, Angie. Thank you for saying yes to this. And of course, the creator of the Dayton Black Women Film Festival. Welcome, Angie, to Listening is Fundamental.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Heavy on the three children part. If anybody happens to hear anything, a little bit of a sound, that's probably them. But thank you for a wonderful introduction. That just made my heart so full. I'm honored to be your first guest. What? This is crazy. I gotta add that to my bio. First guest on LIF podcast. Like what? It's
Yes.
it's it's crazy. So I'm excited to be here, excited to talk to you about, this film festival, what I'm passionate about, and excited to see uh your interviewing skills because I already know where they live,
Yeah,
but
but
I love your
hey,
podcast and how
like
you
this
talk.
is my first interview. So be easy, and just go with it. If something don't sound right, just kind of answer it, and then we'll move on.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so one thing I want to point out, Angie, for as long as I have known you, I've always known you to be a creative. Like I said, from either it be photography or filmmaking or back in your art show days, I've just always known you
Period.
to be a creative. So one thing that I was curious to ask, even just for myself, if you can remember, or what was kind of like your first memory or experience with just creating in general, whether that be film or anything in that creative space.
Oh, that is a great question. My first memory of being creative. Wow. The first one that pops into my head, so funny. I had watched Lionel Richie has this song called Hello. And
Okay.
there's this video, the video to the song is of this blind woman who's sculpting a head
Mm,
sculpture of Lionel Richie. But she's never seen him before.
yeah.
But I guess it's like true love or something. She knew what he looked like before she even saw him in person. I seen this video and I kind of ran with that concept and I wrote like a short story. This is like probably before, maybe in first grade, if that.
Oh,
But I
wow.
remember writing that short story and it was about a lady who could paint. And it was kind of a rip off of what I saw. It was still my own variation and
Yeah.
still something that took a lot of love and care to do. And I remember showing that to my children's pastor at the time when I was growing up. My children's pastor, his name was Derek. I cannot think of his last name, but do you remember Derek? Probably not. But he was the children's
Mm-mm.
pastor before my dad became the children's pastor at church. And I showed him my story, and he was like, "Wow, this is really good." And I have kept that "Wow, this is really good" in my
Okay.
my whole life. It really has. Every time I think like, wow, somebody told you, wow, this is really good, and you were like 6 or 7 writing a short story. You don't even learn how to write short stories. You don't even learn how to write short stories until like what, fourth, fifth grade?
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. That's probably one of the furthest back memories I can think of in regard to my creativity.
That's an interesting story. Even that video of her creating him and not even knowing what he looks like. That's actually a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
story. You have to look that up. Watch that.
You have to watch the video. The song is called "Hello" by Lionel Richie. You have to look it up.
I definitely will. It's interesting. So kind of piggybacking all off of that, how did you know that filmmaking was, because I know you said writing the short story, so how did you know filmmaking was kind of your path or your passion?
Uh, from a very early age, I just loved movies. Like nothing made me feel the way that movies did. And I can remember when I was a little girl, I used to watch Turner Classic Movies a lot. Not when I was a little girl, I still watch it a lot now. But I used to watch classic movies all the time. And there's just a channel called Turner Classic Movies where they play old films, like, I mean, from the silent era all the way until the 60s. They play them all day. And I remember seeing this film called Meet Me in St. Louis. I didn't know the name of it at the time, but I remember seeing this beautiful shot of Judy Garland in this window. And she had this like strawberry kind of blonde red hair. And she had on this beautiful blue and white striped dress. And she was singing this song. And I just thought it was the most magical thing I'd ever seen. It was just like, it took my breath away. And I was like, what is this I'm experiencing? And every day I remember asking my parents if they could get that movie for me or find that movie for me. And now I have like a ton of copies of it. It's one of my favorite films of all time. But it's not probably my favorite film. But just watching TCM and feeling like, I want to make people feel this way. I want to make people feel how
Yeah.
I feel when I'm watching this movie. If I can make people feel this magical kind of like surreal feeling, because movies are a form of escapism. When we can watch them
Yeah.
and we're going through something or we're struggling with something, they really do transform or take you to another place. And I feel like that's a superpower. And from a very early age, like I said before, I knew I could write. So I
Yeah.
knew that was there, but I wanted to see how I could turn a page into something somebody else could see on screen. And so, yeah, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker from, I started with plays. I started
Yeah.
making plays at church. I always knew I wanted to write scripts. I always knew I wanted to screenwrite. I don't think I've ever had another dream than being able to create
Wow, that's
scripts,
beautiful.
write, and make my vision that I see in my head come to life for other people to experience. I've never imagined myself doing anything else.
Wow, that's awesome. 'Cause I know for a lot of people, things kind of switch, especially with someone with such a creative mind, whether, because like I said, you've done lots of things, but a lot of people aren't really set on what they want to do. So the fact that you said you never imagined yourself doing anything else, it definitely shows with the work that you do and what we're seeing now. So that's awesome to hear. It's very inspiring.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really have ventured off um, into a lot of other spaces,
Yeah.
art shows, and I can't even think. Like I said, I did stage plays before. I even thought I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to act. I've taught acting. I've done
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. My heartstrings have always been pulled toward filmmaking, but there was really nobody for me to look up to or look toward when it came to that
Yeah.
profession. So I didn't think it was a possibility at all, honestly. But I always knew that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like the Black Spielberg, or I'm gonna be this, or I'm gonna be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all avenues have always led to that. But of course, being creative, um, if you're not doing specifically what you want to do, all the other stuff kind of just itches and scratch. You don't really like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's so funny though. I always, when I was about 18, I started doing art shows in my city. Um, and I called the thing like Rebel Art Alliance or something. I can't even remember the specific name of it. But I used to put on shows for Black teenagers in the city, and I would only like feature Black artists and things like that. Really along the lines of what I do with my film festival with Black women filmmakers. But I was passionate about that. I love that, but I didn't have a passion for visual arts like painting or the things
Yeah.
that I was
Right. Right.
displaying at
Right.
the time. But it's so funny doing that, and that was successful when it happened. Has taught me so
Yeah.
much about being able to do what I do now with Dayton Black Women's Film Festival because I can't really, what's the word? I can't I can't imagine being able to orchestrate something or organize an event without having had that experience before.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of piggybacking off of the art shows, and something I wanted to bring up is that as being a creative, I've always known you to give a platform to other creatives, whether that be in the art shows or with the casting that you do for your short films. And something that I saw the other day that had me rubbing my hands like Birdman that you brought up via social media stories is how a lot of people don't really support when they see other creatives, whether they're doing something that they may be doing or doing something different. And even me, as having a podcast, something just as little as a like or a share can go such a long way. And you see people, they will share their favorite celebrities' new posts, new song. And it's like, dang, I can't even get how quick and easy it is to just share. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use that because I
Yeah.
felt that. But like I said, I've just always known you to kind of give that platform to other creatives, and whether that be something, because a lot of people can be intimidated, especially if they're in the same lane as you, not realizing
Hmm.
that there are so many avenues within this one thing. So if you can kind of talk about, why you feel that that's important for you to be able to share your platform and what you're doing with other creatives.
Um, I think honestly, okay, yeah, that rant I have went on is so personal to me because I have spent so much of my creative life creating space for other people.
Yeah.
So I would think, that it would be easy for people to support me, or um, help or just encourage whatever I'm doing or even connect somebody else with it. Because I
Yeah.
don't care what nobody says. Film cinema is such a huge part of our lives around the world. It's just a global thing that connects
100%.
everybody. And everybody knows a film lover. Everybody knows a film buff. Everybody knows somebody in their family who loves movies and who would love being able to see films from our own local space, from our hometown, and then
Yeah.
also films they never seen before. So I never buy people who always say like, "Well, I don't really know anybody who would enjoy that," or "I really don't know." It just is bull crap to me. But
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, I am a village driven, community driven person. And I always have been. I was raised that way. I was raised to serve other people.
Yeah.
And I just have a servant's heart when it comes to my creativity. Honestly, I can't imagine being selfish and or on a journey of trying to create things without other people because you
Yeah.
need other people to create things. On either side of it, when it comes to filmmaking, there's a producer, there's a director, there's assistant
Right.
director, second assistant director, there's a cinematographer, there's a composer. There's so many moving parts to being a filmmaker. And then the biggest moving part of being a filmmaker is your audience. And you can't
Yeah.
move or shift any of those gears unless you have people to connect with, unless you have community to support those gears that you're trying to move and shift, unless you have a village that can help you raise whatever dream or thing that you're passionate about to come into fruition. So I've always honored the fact that I know. I'm sorry, Jenny. Can you hear him?
I actually cannot. No, you're fine.
Okay,
You're a
okay.
mother. That was the first thing. She's a mother.
Yeah.
So mother of three.
I'm so sorry. So yes, when it comes to community and village, I'm a ride or die. I'm supporting anybody, everybody. I don't care what avenue you're coming from. If I know that you really are trying to pour into, bring awareness, help, and expand knowledge within our community, which is so
Yeah.
important, then I'm here for it. And when it comes to, I don't know how radical we can be on here. I won't Dr.
Come
Um
on,
on
this
you.
listen is fundamental, bro. That's what it's about. Please.
Comes to us not supporting each other, that really, is connected to white supremacy. And I,
Yes.
I hate to Malcolm X it, or I really don't. I love to Malcolm X it, but it's
Yeah.
directly connected to the fact that capitalism, racism goes hand in hand. And if they know when it comes to consumerism that we can continue to support something bigger than ourselves, because first we're taught to believe that we're not that big, right? So
Yeah.
everything is bigger than what we are. If we're taught to support what's bigger than ourselves, then when we see something small or growing, like a small business, a small black owned business,
Yeah.
or we see a friend starting a podcast, or we see a friend making a film, or we see a friend putting on an event. It's like, oh, nothing that we're going to do is going to really change the trajectory of this person's success with their small business. I hate the
Right.
word small business because we're
Yeah.
automatically placing ourselves into a box, right?
Yeah.
This Black owned small business. When it's a big thing to own a business, start a podcast, be in any of the spaces. It's a revolutionary act within itself to be a Black
Yes.
person in charge, CEO, operating any of the things that we do. So I think it's really important that we disconnect from those ideologies when it comes to, oh, this is a small business, or is it really going to help if I share? Yes, it's going to help if you share.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to help if you
Yes.
like. Yes, it's going to.
Wait, the sound kind of cut out a little bit. I can't hear you, gang. No. No. Mm-mm. Um,
I disconnected from my thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear my background. Hold on just a second. I'm so sorry. Marche
No,
called me
you're fine.
because she never calls back ever.
No, you're okay.
Unless I'm always doing something.
Marche, gang, come on. If you watching this game, come on, man. Come on, gang.
She call it the most inconvenient times, no matter what.
Inconvenient too. Go over there. Can you hear me now, Jenny?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, take your cookies or go over there now. It's like they know I'm doing something important because every time they watch, as soon as we're done with this, they're gonna be silent like this. They're gonna be
Hey,
quiet.
justice for the boys.
But oh my gosh, what was I saying? Because I was feeling it. I felt this spirit of Malcolm moving through me.
Just talking about small businesses and how capitalism.
Yes, capitalism is meant to separate us and keep us down. Because if we all just stop supporting Walmart, McDonald's, anything tomorrow, they would suffer. So if we all started supporting each other tomorrow, we would gain so much. And I think once we can get out of the headspace of realizing how important, like, social media is such a powerful tool, and that we're not even using it to the extent of the power that it has, man, we really could change the world. It's all in our hands. It's all in the
100%.
And I wish people could see that. I wish people could see past their bitterness, but that's all, you know.
Ooh, clock it. Clock it.
It's all been, you know, passed down in a sense, you know, generationally. A lot of like, oh, I don't want to see this person succeed because I'm not succeeding, not realizing if I succeed, you succeed, so on.
Yes.
So that's my views on that. And I'm always going to speak out on it because I was about to tag some people. I'm not even going to lie.
And you should. I was listening to that. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah.
Because it's so funny. It's always the people closest to you. It's the people that's like behind closed doors. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of what you're doing. But doesn't take a moment to be like, you know, I'm going to post this on my story. And I've even had somebody tell me, it's not a part of, it doesn't fit with my aesthetic. If your aesthetic is more important than my success or my, you know, my business flourishing or thriving, then we don't need to be friends. Ain't no aesthetic that important.
That's people's just perception of social media and how they want to be perceived. And the whole thing is just goofy. It really
is. It's so goofy. It's very ignorant.
Yeah, and one person I thought of, I think of filmmakers like Spike Lee and how he used his platform very early on to put on other Black filmmakers. And then it bothers me so much because I think I'm going to take every chance I get to talk about Tyler Perry. Why I hate so much how he, and of course what he does for Black actors and actresses, but the fact that he has to be the writer, he has to be the director, he has to be everything. He leaves no space for
zero space.
Like, I just don't get it, and I hate it, and it reflects in the work that he puts out. It looks
It
like there's
reflects.
no writer's room.
It looks like there's no writer's room, and like I said, it's it's so funny because I just mentioned it. It's all a connecting machine, right? But
Yeah,
Tyler Perry cares more about the audience, which has made his pockets
yeah,
beautiful, than
yeah,
he does the behind the scenes community that takes place or happens when you're making a film. You
yeah.
can totally tell. One time I was watching something and he didn't even cut like a bad sound glitch out or something. I was like, are you not in the, what did you do? Are you editing?
Yes, he's doing everything, and it's not. He just looks at it once. He films it. All right, boom, put it out, and
Oh,
people
and
eat
then
it
push it
up.
out. And people eat it up because we're such consumers. We're
Yes,
consumers when it comes to everything that
yes,
we take in
yes,
media
yes,
wise.
yes, yes.
So it really doesn't even have to. Cypress, go sit down, my love. I love you very much, but go sit down. Go sit down. Okay. But yeah, it's just real funny how, we are so quick to consume something without analyzing what we're consuming. And that is
Yes,
the whole bit of
yes,
Tyler Perry's bit, okay? But that's I try to stay nice about him because I do appreciate that I think about his the revolutionary act that he is. Like,
yeah,
he has
yeah,
his own studio as a black man, unheard of.
yeah.
And then it's on a freaking plantation. How
Right,
beautiful is
right.
that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
brilliant. Do I wish it was another person who had that access? Yes. But I will still celebrate him for the work that he has done in that movement, but
Yes,
not
in that space, he
in
could
that
be doing
space.
more. I could have a
He could
whole
be doing more.
dissertation on Tyler Perry, but
A whole
we'll save
dissertation because
that.
I know at
We'll
least
save that.
three black writers. I mean, a professor from my school, she's one of the most incredible writers. Like her, she's effortless. She could write 10 films better than him. If he hired her, he might get an Oscar. But
Yeah,
he ain't ready for that conversation.
he don't want to spend no money. It
He don't
seems
want to
like he
spend no
don't want to
money.
spend no money. He don't want to
Yeah.
spend no money. Okay, so now shifting gears a little bit, we're going to talk about the film festival and kind of go through each day talking about what people can expect from this year's festival. So this is year 3 of this festival. That is amazing. This is year 3. And just even talking about how, black people in film started as Jim Crow caricatures, and now we have a black woman putting on a film festival for other black women. How does that feel to now be in your 3rd year of doing this festival?
Oh my goodness. It's so funny. It feels predestined. Like it feels like it was
Mm-hmm.
always supposed to happen. I I can't imagine myself doing anything else right now, but I know I had to go through certain things in order to do this from a really like genuine and pure space.
Yeah.
It's so crazy you mentioned, where we started in film as caricatures, from Jim Crow laws, Jim Crow era, from things that had zero, zero validity to them.
Yeah.
And those are the films that still get shown in film school.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
they talk about DW's Birth of a Nation, D.W. Griffith's Birth of a
No,
Nation. Yes,
no.
in your first year of film school, you have to learn about the cornerstone of cinema, which is D.W. Griffith's A Birth of a Nation, which is where those Jim Crow caricatures and everything stems from, which also single-handedly reignited the KKK. The KKK had completely died out
Wow.
around the time of the Civil War, or a little bit before the Civil War ended, and then had a significant rise once D.W. Griffith had released A Birth of a Nation. And this is what we have to sit through a dissertation about: the shots and the mobility of the camera and how ahead of his time. Mind you, D.W. Griffith has other films other than The Birth of a Nation that are ahead of their time, but the film, it has literally cost Black people their lives.
Yeah.
And I had to learn about it in film school. For the history of filmmaking 101, you have to get through this class in order to make it to the next semester of the film program. And then outside of D.W. Griffith, we also have to watch the first talkie film, because films were silent, and then they went and transitioned into talkie films. And do you know what the first talkie film is about? It's called The Jazz Singer. And in The Jazz Singer, Al Jolson has blackface on and pretends to sing like a black man, and he blows up in his career that way, sounding like a black man. But yeah, completely features a all black face singing like a black man does when he does blues or jazz.
Whoa!
And I had to see blackface in in film school,
surrounded by other white people.
Surrounded by other white people who have no idea how alienating. Mind you, I was the only black student in my class. I don't care how much hell I receive for saying that. I get a lot of flack, but it is the truth. I started film school in 2022. When I started, there were only 2 other black students above me in the class. And I don't believe there were any seniors above them, or there was 1 other black person. So at the time that I started film school as a freshman, I was one of 4 black students in the entire program from freshman to senior class, right? And this is what most black women who have been in Wright State's program have experienced. Hannah Beekler was the only black woman in her class. And then beneath her, I can't even say her name now. Selena Burks-Rentschler was a grade below Hannah Beekler. Hannah Beekler, if nobody knows, is a production designer who's the first and only African-American to win Best Production Design. She won for Black Panther and was recently just nominated for the groundbreaking film Sinners. Yes, she is from Dayton, and she did graduate from the Wright State Motion Picture Production Program. And Selena Burks-Rentschler, who's also an Emmy-winning director, and has a film that premiered at Sundance. They were the only 2 black people in their class. I mean, the only one or the other in the program at the time. And the experience it's a ripple effect. You can't say anything about it. If you say anything about it, then you're angry, or you're disruptive, or you're ungrateful, or you're a problem. And that's what I was through the entirety of film school, because every narrative I presented, every film I wanted to make was an act of rebellion against all the stuff that they tried to get us to adhere to, especially me. Like, oh, we don't see color, or oh, that's not that important. Well, that's the problem. Y'all don't see color. If you did, you probably would play some black films, but you don't.
Yeah.
So I literally was just saying to somebody, throughout my entire tenure of being a film student at Wright State, I've never seen a film directed by a black woman. Not one time. Not one time did Wright State University, in the 4 years, I graduated early, so I did 3.5 years. And not one time did I see a film directed by a black woman. And there's so much work that they could have showed directed by a black woman, but they just don't deem our work good enough in those spaces, or important enough in those spaces. It's not culturally significant enough in those spaces. And since there's only 1 black student in this space, these other white students probably don't want to see a movie about a black woman. So, with that being my experience, I didn't have a space for my work to be shown. Every time I showed my work in class, people were like, what is this? I'm so confused. Well, of course you are. You never experienced it before. You don't know what it's like to walk in my shoes. And you're not open to walking in my shoes. So it was an isolating experience. And then I just wanted so badly to connect with other Black women filmmakers. I just felt so out of place. I felt like I didn't belong. And a lot of women in that program, a lot of people in that program, Black people in that program, they experience that and they leave, or they shut down, or they take a back seat and they close themselves off. And then all of a sudden, nobody wants to be a director. Nobody wants to write their own films. Nobody wants to, they only get us to do small roles, or, oh, you can be a PA, or you can edit the film, or, which is ridiculous. A Black person editing a film, incredible, by the way, or even being a cinematographer is incredible. But the industry knows that it's a completely different thing for a Black person to write their own narrative, to direct their own film. The voice is completely different than being behind a camera pressing record and being in front of a computer and using Adobe Premiere to edit a film. And they know
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
they box these Black filmmakers into these spaces where it's, oh, I can just I'm a good editor, because you're scared there's not going to be a space for
Right,
you
right, right,
anyway.
right, right.
You're scared that you're not going to be able to be successful as a Black director anyway, because in 98 years of the freaking Oscars, right? In 98 years of the Oscars, not a single Black person has ever won Best Director, right? In a time where
Even
we have
now, the Oscars can be a
even till
dissertation.
now, this could be just by itself. Even till now, not a single Black person has won Best. And that says a lot about the experience that you have in film school. Our voices aren't the ones that go celebrated and or honored. So why would this school take the time out to make I can't even think of the word for it, to make lessons or to show films that celebrate Black filmmakers? So this is all just the direct root of why I started my film festival, why I created it. I just was so lonely and not feeling appreciated and or accepted. And I wanted to have a space like that. And that space didn't exist. It didn't exist at all. And I was working at the Neon at the time where my film festival takes place at. And I thought the manager of the Neon, his name is Jonathan. He's incredible. Really, I really wouldn't have a film festival if it wasn't for all his hard work and dedication. He runs his own film festival. It used to be the LGBTQ film festival, but now it goes by the Out Here Fest. And he's been running that for 25 years. 25 years that festival has been taking place. And I was like, oh, I'm with the GOAT right here. I mean, he runs a big festival in the city, and I want to know more. How do I do this? And I went up to him and I was like, Jonathan, I think I want to do a film festival, just for Black women. And he was like, well, you can do it and you can do it here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I will.
That's awesome. It just
took off running from there, honestly. I was lonely, sad. I wanted to be able to be in a space where people appreciated my work. And what better audience than other Black women to watch our work?
Right.
And so it just went from there. And from my pain, honestly, it's really not a happy story. It's not, it's from a space of anger that I was able to create something really beautiful.
Well, I love that. And even what you're saying, him getting, that is another big reason why him giving you that platform to now what you have created and now able to give that platform to other Black women, it all trickles in together and why support is so important. And unfortunately, really I do not have Zoom upgrade, so we do have a little shy of 3 minutes left. But I do want to use the rest of that time to go into the film festival and what we can expect. So it's a 4-day film festival. It is running from May 21st through May 24th. So make sure you go to neonmovies.com and you can get your tickets to those events. And the events have separate ticket sales, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. And then, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, all tickets are on sale now. There's 4 days of the festival. Each day has a different or separate link to their tickets. All tickets throughout the weekend are $13.50, except for the Dayton Metro Library event. The workshop is completely free to anyone who will register. It's a really incredible event. We have Danielle Scruggs, who is the creator of who is the creator of Black Women Directors, which is a digital archive of Black women filmmakers. It is incredible. What the work that she does. She's been featured in like Elle magazine, Marie Claire. She's really special.
Oh, wow.
And me and her will be talking in conjunction about how Black women use their stories, or their own personal stories, to make films that are impactful. And then we'll also have the actual archivist on site who'll be showing clips and films. Her name's Karen Brain. She's fantastic as well. And then everything else is $13.50. Our opening night is all of our short films from across the country. We even have a film from Nigeria that's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm so excited. There's animated films, there's experimental, there's documentary. There is literally not a stone unturned when it comes to genre or narrative or something that you probably never heard of before. We really cover all spaces, Black women from every different space in life. So I'm super excited about the opening night. I'll also be showing a film that I made 10 years ago to
Yes,
this.
you changed me. I think I'm most excited to see that on the
And
big screen. I'm so excited.
honestly, I'm so emotional about it. She has my baby. You changed me. I put so much hard work into that film. She deserved a big screen a long time ago. So scared that she wasn't good enough, and so I'm so happy that the film, the much due screening that it deserves. You Changed Me is really a labor of love. I can't believe I have a film that's 10 years old. 10
Yes.
years old is crazy. So I'm just excited for people to see that and other Black women's films because man, your mind is really going to be blown. Some of these films I've never seen anything like. Deserve to be celebrated for the advancements they're making in filmmaking. So there's that, and then we're doing a tribute to Barbara O, who is a Dayton native and one of the leaders of the LA Rebellion, which is a group of Black film students from UCLA in the late 70s, going into the 80s, who really changed the trajectory of filmmaking for us and for Black actors. It's I wish I could talk. I could talk about that for an hour, but we'll be celebrating her and one of her friends